Be live. If you're watching this broadcast later on today, I decided just to make a quick broadcast today just to show more of my collection. This time it is my Macaddict collection. You have to excuse me, this also is my lunch hour, so I will have to be eating during this. I'll try not to make too much noise. So this was all from a local collector. This gentleman, pardon me, this gentleman had worked with Apple in the past, and I had gotten quite a few things from him. And top of that was this large collection of magazines, or semi-large, we'll call it. And he had these Macaddict magazines, which I had never seen locally. I've never purchased one when they were new. And he offered them to me as part of what I was purchasing, and, well, I took them. So what I thought I'd do is just go through some of them and see what we could find in there. So, the first one I think we'll take a look is the collector's edition, apparently, of the Volume 1, Issue 1. So I'm going to take the rest of these away because I find that the camera tries to zoom in on them. Fortunately, on this camera, I don't have a lot of control. I've tried installing the software to do it, and it just crashes every time. I'm not entirely sure. So, let's just take a look at the cover. This thing is in great condition, the magazine. My favorite is right here. If only Apple made a Mac that looked like that. So why the Mac's future is bright. It's ever been brighter than it is right now. 25 ways a Mac is better than a PC. The Open Dock Revolution, the 180 megahertz Mac. Wow, it screams. And 28 reviews. If I can get that in focus, that would be wonderful. But it's not playing ball with me today. This thing is so clean that even just turning the page is difficult. And the first thing is actually Microsoft game. So Microsoft Close Combat. Never heard of this game before. Would be something to pick up eventually. This is what you could do with a Macintosh. There is no small thing, such thing as a small business. So apparently you could digitize people's faces, and that was an exciting feature in 1996. And just take a look at that, especially with the monitor right there at the bottom. I've owned that monitor before, and it is a behemoth. I think it's called the Audio Vision monitor. And it looks like the same gentleman. Yeah. Same person here as we got right there. Apache. I have this game for PC. I've actually piecemealed it together. I purchased the game separately. I got the box somewhere else, and I eventually just was able to put everything together with the manual and all that. I can't say I've ever played it, though. Internet for Macintosh install disks. It's that simple. $20 a month flat rate, unlimited use. Earthlink, Netscape Navigator included. How generous, and how times have changed. Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness. I believe this is the game that I picked up in my last live stream when I had a whole ton of games that I got for about $40 Canadian. Very different than the massively multiplayer online role-playing game than it is now. Just take a look here. That's obviously not gameplay. That's obviously not gameplay. Includes direct internet support, battle head-to-head against either Mac or PC opponents, full 3D sound, requires a Power Mac with 12 megabytes of RAM, I don't know how they did it on 12 megabytes, 28 campaign scenarios with 2 separate storylines, so I guess the humans or the orcs. Command new weapons of war, including dragon submarines, elven archers, griffin zeppelins, battleships, and death knights. I've actually played, well, not this one, but the full version of the game. The one that's out now. The online one. Death Knight was awesome. The disc. So this came with a CD-ROM that had different software on it. Unfortunately, I don't have it, so I'm not going to focus too much on this. System utilities, demos. Livewire. Pippin, teacher's pet or bad apple? For the first time ever, you can access the World Wide Web and enjoy high-quality CD-ROMs and email address, all without a computer. Technically, the Pippin would be a computer, though, so I'm not sure how you can say that. So states the crisp marketing brochure for the Bandai Digital Entertainment's $599 Pippin. Wow, $600, like 26 years ago. Based on Apple's Pippin technology. I don't know what Apple's Pippin technology is. In the At-World, which shipped in September, supposedly fills the world's craving for a sub-1000 machine that's easier to use than any Mac. Wasn't the advertising for the Mac that it was pretty simple to use? I don't know how they could advertise it as easier using the Mac when they were focusing the Mac as anyone can use it and super fast to set up. Afterlife, the last world in Sims. No. It's the first world-building simulation that lets you manage 2 planes of Unreal Estate, Heaven and Hell, simultaneously. Start with the gates of Heaven and Hell, zone in blocks or sins or virtues, and build roads. Soon the dearly departed arrive in droves. That is very odd. Windows 95 and DOS and Macintosh. From LucasArts. Pretty interesting. That's a game I'd actually like to try. Sorry. Just getting messages at the same time. So I'm checking both. as I put my phone to the side. Excuse me. All right. QuickTime shifts towards the internet. QuickTime, the video format that's invaluable to both Mac and Windows users, is shifting its not inconsiderable digital influence to the internet in a few different ways. The QuickTime Netscape plugins is its most obvious. The plugin, the first third-party plugin to be bundled with Netscape, will allow movies to start playing almost immediately, and you won't have to download the movie and then open a helper app. Sorry, my phone just buzzed. A helper app in order to see it. How does it work? When you click on a QuickTime file, the plugin goes to work. If the file hasn't been flattened, had both resource and data forks compressed into one fork, Netscape will open a new window, play the video. If the site's webmaster has flattened the file, then it would play in place. We've come a long way from having to download everything to actually things clicking and working, that it became exciting then. Some Mac Play games: Descent 2, Virtual Pool, Blackthorn, Mummy, and Alone in the Dark. Palm Pilot, gone. I'm not sure who bought it. I think HP bought them. Not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure that it was HP that bought up that whole industry. And then they themselves stopped making them. This, I thought it was some kind of Minecraft, is Griffin Software. It kind of looks like has a Lego feel to it. Here we go. Mech Warrior. Something about the Mech Warrior series that I've always loved. Whenever I get a chance, if it's on console, PC, whatever it is, I play that game. It's fun to think that you're in charge of these giant robots. The new CEO at the time, Michael Spindler. I'm pretty sure he passed away. Was it Spindler or Emilio? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, so apparently he outlined his strategy within 100 days, quelled the takeover rumors. This is great. Before Emilio took charge on February 5th, the national news was rife with speculation that Apple would be taken over by any number of potential suitors, most notably Sun Microsystems. Does Sun even exist anymore? I think they were actually bought over, or they folded. Aggressively licensed the Mac OS. Since announcing its intention to license the Mac OS in September 94, Apple has been roundly criticized for dragging its heels. No more. Emilio has promised to aggressively license the Mac OS to serious players. For proof that Apple's new willingness to license the Mac OS, look no further than two deals that were initiated prior to Emilio's arrival, but consummated with his very strong support. On February 19th, Apple announced that Motorola's computer group had licensed the Mac OS and will sublicense it with the computers and motherboards it supplies to other manufacturers worldwide. In the past, Apple insisted on controlling all licenses, a policy that forced potential licenses to deal with Apple for the OS and and other vendors for the hardware. By allowing Motorola to sublicense the Mac OS, Up here, potential clone manufacturers will be able to work with one company for all their needs, whether hardware or software. On May 6th, Apple licensed the macOS to IBM in a deal that is similar to Motorola's. According to Jesse Parker, Director of Segment Marketing in IBM's Microelectronics division, IBM at various times had discussed the possibility of licensing macOS from Apple. However, it wasn't until Gil Amelio joined the company that discussions began to proceed more quickly. When Gil was not directly involved in the day-to-day negotiations, it was clear his influence and direction helped move things along. An IBM computer running on Mac OS. So I'm not going to go through all of this, but these are different things that he said or she said he was going to do. Expanded Apple developer relations. Promised financial support for developers. Working with IBM to develop a PowerBook. Increased minimum RAM to 12 megabytes. How generous. Suspended stock dividends. Began mending fences with Microsoft. Didn't realize it was so negative. Committed to FireWire. Join the Network Computer Coalition. Very interesting. It's the whole thing about Larry Tesler is responsible for overseeing the creation of internet products such as CyberDog, forging business alliances, and making sure that all of Apple's products take advantage of the internet. This is Open Doc. Not too interesting. Best Brave new browsers: Navigator, Explorer, Mosaic, and CyberDog. I don't think that exists anymore. I don't think that exists anymore. Doesn't exist anymore. Doesn't exist anymore, technically. Standards bearer, Netscape Navigator, the innovator. I call him the originator, personally. Explorer, the copier. That's fighting words right there. Apple CyberDog, the stealth bomber. Honestly, I don't even think I've ever touched or used CyberDog before. "25 reasons why the Mac is better than a PC. Reason 1, pop a floppy in the Mac and the Mac responds. With an icon desktop lets you know exactly where it is. Windows 95 plays hide and seek by sticking the floppy disk icon on any of your hard drives, somewhere under My Computer icon. Where's the floppy? Where's the floppy? Good boy." Okay, I'm not saying this, that's what's written. "The Mac is easy enough for a kid to use, as I said before. They were advertising it as simple. Mac OS always launches a document there's more to that sentence. With the application from which it sprung. Windows users, however, can't be sure the document and the application created it will stay hitched. If Windows users move a document or a program to a different drive, the connection between the document's creator application vanishes. Reason 4, all Macs ever made come local talk ready. Reason 5, the Mac is not only hip, but also well connected." Is it hip? "DOS is a pain in the butt to use. I'd agree. Although Windows 95 finally eliminated the 8-character limits for file names, Windows 3.1 will translate long file names back to its own cryptic code. Reason 8. Games look and sound better on the Mac. I don't know about that. The Mac is easier to use set than a Windows machine. Absolutely. Reason 10. Apple scripts lets users with even slight programming instincts bend applications to their will with very little time or effort. QuickTime Apple innovation. Macs are faster. Subjective. The Mac is still the first choice for creative types. Mac designers are wanting more pizzazz. I almost said pizza. In 95, Apple was granted 53 technology patents, more than any other computer company, according to Information Week. I'm guessing that's a magazine. The Mac is largely responsible for the multimedia revolution. Okay. You may need Word for Windows if you're creating stodgy reports. True friend, the Mac can talk to you and recognize your voice through the built-in plain talk and speech analysis. Wintel machines, however, remain speechless. I don't know. If you ever have Siri, well, this is comparing it like 30 years later, but Siri is still not doing a great job itself. Macs speak a variety of foreign languages. Yeah. Wintel machines are easy prey to infection. Only because there's more of them. So, I guess there definitely are Mac viruses. Windows 95 supposedly supports plug and play. Thanks to over-designed Windows 95 interface. Many Windows applications require uninstall programs to remove an application. True. Type 11 errors are nothing compared to the bugs, incompatibles, and overall instability of Windows 95. While Mac upgrades are usually refinements based on old reliable code, the Windows revamps result in a totally new product. Although Windows 95 runs better than Windows 3.1 overall, users are still suffering growing pains. I don't know how they can use an error to compare to other errors, but troubleshooting on a Mac often means popping in Cassie and Green's Conflict Catcher or Norton's Disk Doctor. Not sure how that's better, because it's a Mac. Power computing. So the Power Center 120, 150, 180. I have the 180, which is pictured here. The one right there. So I don't have the screen, but I do have the machine. Actually, I might have that one as well. Let me take a look. Because I have it behind me. No, I have two of them. The 180 and the 150. Except my 150 has been upgraded. So they're comparing them using scrolling down in Word, unsharp mask. It'd be great if I can control this camera, and I do apologize for that. And opening a Photoshop document, times in seconds. So the Power Center 120 takes 102 seconds to unsharp mask, I guess, in Photoshop. Color Quick Cam. Man, so many people had that camera, I remember back in the day. I never did. 20 and 24 frames per second on a 160 by 120 pixel image. Wow. The camera I'm using right here, pointing at you guys right now, that's the C920 from Logitech. So I'd say that's a major upgrade between that original camera and this. Don't know that. KPT Bryce 2. Never heard of that game. F-18 Hornet 2.0. If only that actually was gameplay, this picture. This, I would suggest, is probably more accurate. Very blocky gameplay. Flight Unlimited. Again, definitely not the actual gameplay. Yes, maybe. Flatbed scanners. I don't know anybody who has one anymore. Full Tilt Pinball. I'm pretty sure I played that. And who here hasn't played Wing Commander before? I don't know if I played this exact game, Wing Commander 4, but I know I played some of the original Wing Commanders. Secrets of Luxor. Top 10 ways to know you're a Mac addict. Number 10, your 486 works great as a flower press. Number 9, you talk in a wild animated manner about new extensions and peripherals. Number 8, you try to double click on your bar of soap when you shower. Number 7, you feel the urge to enter Command E to eject your Pop-Tarts from the toaster. Number 6, you wish this was a top 5 list so you could get back to your Mac sooner. Number 5, at bedtime, you read Inside Macintosh to your 3-year-old Mac whiz instead of Dr. Seuss. Number 4, you turn on your TV and are concerned when you don't see a smiling icon. Number 3, you paid $150 for Old Homestead High yearbook just to have a picture of Apple's co-founder, Stephen Wozniak. I didn't know that was the school he went to. Number 2, you're always telling people you can quit using your Mac anytime you want to. And number 1, if there was a magazine called Macaddict, you subscribe to it. Phantasmagoria. A lot of people play this game. Well, this is cool. Saturday Night Live and Blockbuster Video. This is just a sign of the time. So Blockbuster Video, guides to movies and videos. Or Saturday Night Live. This is 20 years in. You'll find classic moments. Gilda Radner as Baba Wawa and Dana Carvey as President Bush mouthing off cliches. Stay the course, 1,000 points of light. I want that disc now. Whoop. Sorry, email. Kid stuff. Nothing too exciting here. Just all kids' games. Photo projects. Oh, I thought it was about next computers. Next generation. It's game coverage. So, PlayStation. What do I feel like these are both Sega? That's with the 32X? No, or maybe I'm mixing that up actually with the 3DO. How to organize a website. sure everything has changed by now. How to build a home network. Telephone. To your modem. Wall jack. It's your phone net connector. Powerful choice. Power key turns your Macintosh and monitor off on manually. Power key Pro turns your Macintosh, monitor, and peripherals on and off, or on or manually, or at chosen time, or remotely by telephone. Won't be by telephone. When your system's idle, or when your Mac is crashed, or when you want to receive a fax, it's all written here. Or to run a backup program at night, or much, much more. Call now and ask how. So call 1-800-769-3773, according to this magazine. Pick one up. Tips for buying through mail order. SideQuest drives. I have one of these. Never used it. Not exactly a very popular thing to use anymore. Super Mac S900 UMax. Get 150 megahertz PowerPC 604 processor. Multi CPU. Processor direct slot for multi-processor upgrade. Wow, I would love to get a UMax and be able to add in a second processor. I'm looking for one locally, but these are rare, to say the least. Power center. Power computing. One moment. Alright, sorry about that. Power Mac 9500, 8500. I have one of these big beasts over here with the G3 processor in it. And according to this, the fastest Mac OS compatible is here, which is the Power Tower. 166. I don't know, maybe at the time. What is this? The SideQuest one. Oh, nothing too special, just talking about it. I like that. Easy Speak. With your purchase of Easy Speak, you can purchase the Apple 16-bit microphone for only $29.95. Just mention this ad. I'm pretty sure they would offer it to you on the phone either way. Otherworld Computing, OWC, which I know some people cannot stand. Macaddict peripherals. The gamepad, I have this in the collection. numpad, keyboards, mice, trackball. They're still around. If you want to pay for an ad at the Macaddict marketplace. And that's about it. So I'm not going to be taking a look at any more today. This was just a fun impromptu look through during my lunch hour. So if you're watching the stream later on, I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoyed hearing me reminisce and talk about some of these things. So thank you very much